Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. A recent article has come out about Tesla trying to secure Indonesia's nickel supply. The article says the following. Indonesia has received an investment proposal from the US electric vehicle maker Tesla. The country's deputy head for investment and mining coordination, Seption Hario Sito, told reporters on Friday. Indonesia is the world's biggest nickel producer, a material crucial for EV batteries, and has been publicly wooing Tesla to invest in the country to help develop its ambitious EV and battery industry plans. I received their proposal yesterday morning. Next week we will meet them virtually to get an official explanation, Seption said. Seption said he could not give details on the proposal due to the non-disclosure agreement, but said that focus of their discussions has been on batteries and energy storage solutions. If they only want to buy raw materials, we are not interested. This proposal is beyond just taking the raw material, he added. Once the top exporter of nickel, Indonesia stopped nickel shipments last year in an effort to develop a full nickel supply chain, starting from extraction, then processing into metals and chemicals used in batteries to meet the demand for electric vehicles. Tesla said last year it was looking to find reliable sources of nickel globally after warning the current cost of batteries remained a hurdle to its growth. So here's the thing. Indonesia are being smart. Rather than just let Tesla mine the minerals straight out of the ground and export them to Tesla's various battery factories, Indonesia want to be involved in the manufacturing process as much as possible too. It adds much more value to nickel, and that value creates jobs for Indonesia. It would seem if Indonesia know that the nickel they have is scarce and valuable, they're willing to let Tesla have it, but they want more out of the deal. They also realise that if Tesla want it, then eventually some of the other battery or auto companies will soon be after it too. Essentially, they have leverage and are trying to use it. So the good news is, it sounds like they are willing to let Tesla have the nickel, but it is attached with a caveat. Tesla have done their research. They know how essential Indonesia's nickel supply would be to Tesla's mission. There is only so much nickel in the world, and it's a major ingredient to Tesla's batteries. It sounds like Seption is implying that they want something like a battery factory there. This is a negotiation, of course, and that's what Indonesia's first offer is. I would say ideally Tesla would want their battery factories next to their vehicle factories for economies of scale, so this would not be an ideal solution for Tesla. On the other hand, Indonesia has the largest nickel reserves in the world, and nickel reserves are among the metals and minerals with the least remaining life years, and if Tesla don't secure Indonesia's nickel, then someone else will. Australia has almost as much nickel as Indonesia too, but it's most likely going to be cheaper to mine for nickel in Indonesia than Australia, or at least I would imagine so. And Tesla is all about getting costs down. Indonesia may have some leverage here, but so does Tesla. Indonesia don't know when or if another battery company will be interested, and if so, likely not to the scale that Tesla are. Indonesia is almost in between Germany and the US and very close to China, making shipping the metal relatively cost effective. The further anything needs to be transported over land instead of water, the more the cost. Indonesia is an island nation, and Germany, China and Texas are not landlocked. I believe Tesla will have to do something substantial here to please the government. They actually say the discussions were about battery and energy storage, so perhaps Tesla could set up a battery factory here for their batteries that will be used for energy storage, and thus keeping the other battery factories next to the vehicle factories. I would say that if Tesla could negotiate that, and then they'll be able to export the nickel to their other factories, then that might be the suitable compromise and how the negotiations will end. But Tesla are not a fan of having to ship the same materials back and forth unnecessarily. If you run through the logistics of it all, let's say for example they did make car batteries in Indonesia, then they'd need to import other materials to Indonesia. The lithium may come from Nevada to be used for the battery production. Then when the battery is ready, it has to be exported back to the US. Logistically, it would have been much more efficient to have sent the nickel straight to Nevada or Texas. Tesla have already started their battery factories, assuming they can get supply. However, as far as I believe, nickel is only required in the cathode of the batteries, so I personally think this would be the most ideal solution. If Tesla can manufacture their cathodes in Indonesia and then export them to the battery factories from there, it should be the best solution logistically. The factories there might be able to produce the cathodes for less than in the US or elsewhere due to the lower cost of labour. I also think if Indonesia said they would require Tesla to make their energy storage batteries there, and they're still allowed to export the nickel from their car batteries, then Tesla might agree to that too. Energy storage can be deployed anywhere. It doesn't need to have anything to do with the auto factories. But it sounds like manufacturing the cathodes there would be the most ideal solution. It would be great for Indonesia too. It would bring good paying jobs to the citizens in Indonesia and end up increasing the wealth and education of the population as a whole whilst reducing corruption. Their strategy of requiring high-skilled jobs to be brought to the country in order to utilise their natural resources seems like a good path forward. If the powers in charge were interested in maintaining a more corrupt government and authoritarian control over citizens, they would not be doing this. This is totally different from pumping crude oil from Saudi Arabia with a single family as the beneficiary and shipping it to the first world countries for processing and jobs. This is redrawing the map of raw materials of supply chains for the car industry. Personally, I would prefer to enrich Indonesia when buying an electric car than Saudi Arabia. Competitors will soon wake up to realise there isn't enough nickel to go around for everyone, but it will be too late. Tesla would have secured the nickel supply chain, or at least at the most feasible level, making it harder again for anyone else to compete. The fact that Tesla's batteries get so much more profit per gram of nickel means Tesla can afford to pay more than any other competitor too. In addition to that, the fact that Tesla will purchase so much more than any of their competition gives them so much more bargaining power over the competition. If Tesla secure this, then for anyone else looking at scaling up EVs or batteries to anything close to Tesla, probably needs to look at ways to do it without nickel, which might be tough. But bottom line, Tesla have to secure the nickel in Indonesia, and if they do, it's simply one more nail in the competitors' coffins. Thanks for listening. Please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.